Hey guys, Happy New Year 2023. I'm going to show you something amazing that works with all the templates you ever get from us now. What happens when most people get a template? It comes pre-filled with stuff that they can't use, like all this lorem ipsum, right? So you get all this dummy text. Now it's important on a new template to see dummy text because otherwise you just can't really understand what it would look like. You can't project your stuff on here if it's just blank. Right? Too hard to recognize. But look at how many sections there are on this front page. If I want to use all these sections, I don't need to. I could disable a bunch of them. But say I do want to use a bunch of these sections or all of them. That's the point. Do you know how much writing I would need to do to pull that off? So in the back end, how does that look? Well, I'm in that place in the back end where I can go through all those sections. So here we go. There we got our heading. It's all lorem ipsum stuff. It's lorem ipsum paragraph. Lorem ipsum this, lorem ipsum that. And look at how long this page is. It's all those spots for the lorem ipsum, okay? Everything here almost, right? I'm halfway down the page. Almost everything is this stuff, right? Well, let's say I want to change that, okay? Now, some things I got to change manually. I got links to images. I got a company name to consider. I got links to important things to consider. But I'm talking about the brunt of the work, right? Let's change this. Let's say I'm going to write for Issaquah. That's a city I live in here. I-Center, okay? And that's cool. And I'm going to give it like up to 50 words for each of these sections and say, yeah, make it engaging. And let's generate. And at this point, I'll pause. Okay, check this out. We're done in the back end, and it rewrote through everything. Our Vision Center in Issaquah offers expert care and state-of-the-art technology, right? I'm going to take that part out. Now, I could make adjustments to everything back here, and I'll need to. I'll need to go down and kind of adjust and maybe put periods at places or whatever I want to do, right? But the point is, I've got the content here. I can easily work with the content if it already exists. And you might think, well, what about all the images? I got to deal with those. No, you don't. If you're on subscription, use customer support and ask us. We'll deal with the images for you because it's extremely easy for us to do. If you've got images you need us to use, when you fill in a support ticket, upload your images. You can do that. And then that way we'll go ahead and deal with yours. And if they're not the right format, if they're JPG and we should convert them to WebP first, Webby, W-E-B-P, we'll just do it for you. Anyway, let me go ahead and save this thing real quick. And let's see what the front end looks like, right? So if I come here and refresh, how much work got done? Again, I'll have to touch it up, but check it out. Our Vision Center in Issaquah offers expert care and state-of-the-art technology. Our Issaquah Vision Center has years of experience offering expert care to patients from cataract surgery to glasses. Our experts can help you get the best care for your eyes. Okay, I'll remove that C, but check this out. Best optometry in Issaquah, Issaquah Eye Center stuff. I'll look at this. Issaquah Eye Center this, Issaquah Eye Center that, Issaquah Eye Center that. Okay? And as I go through, it's just going to keep it up. Check it out. This is about that, this, and this, all of that, all of this, all of that. Okay, so I'll figure out the links for the inner pages and put them in there. You know, I can put a break tag in here, just shorten this up, like chop this part off. Again, it's not hard to edit, right? Editing is so much easier. Now, there are a couple of sections where we don't have the thing plugged in, like here, but we can fix that easily. And we'll just naturally update everyone's templates remotely because that's what we do. So while you're on the subscription, we just do stuff behind the scenes that improves your website. So you don't need to touch anything or download any updates. These things just work better in the back end. But do you know what? That was cool, wasn't it? Except, oh no, I just realized something. I got the wrong content on the wrong template, wrong job. Shoot, that wasn't supposed to be for that. What was that supposed to be for? It was supposed to be for Denver residential roofing, right? Sure. Okay, engaging. And I'm going to generate that. Here we go. Okay, it hit, so I'm going to go ahead and update. Literally, I'm pausing for like a minute. while it does the whole thing in a minute. So guess what? Now it's all about roofing in Denver, okay? So again, I'll have some basic edits to do, but do you realize how much got done? Let me flip over here and switch this again. It was optometry in Issaquah, right? Let's do this now, see what it is. And just to, get past all the dynamic loading to make it easier to read. Okay, here we go. Roofing in Denver. Roofing in Denver can be a great investment for your home. There are many types of roofs to choose from, and each has its own advantages and disadvantages. You want to decide what type of roof is best for your home and you. Again, I can edit, but that's easy. Roofing in Denver. Roofing stuff in Denver. Yeah. Roofing in Denver. Roofing in Denver. Everything's about roofing in Denver. Roofing in Denver stuff. Roofs. Look at that. Too funny. But really hot, right? Roofing in Denver. I can get all this figured out. Now, by the way, one more thing I want to point out to wrap this up. What happens if you do the whole thing, the whole page, right? That's what we're doing with this autofill. And then you go, shoot, one section is off. All the rest are great, but I wish I could regenerate one section. Well, you can. Check it out. For many of these sections, pretty soon it'll be basically all of them. It's like all of them that have something. This banner settings section has got its very own autofill, okay? The services setting has its very own autofill that just fills in that section for as deep as we go. If you don't want 6, just delete like 6, 5, and 4. That way you only got 3 in a row, on that particular page, right? Well, what? The About settings has its own, right? The counter boxes, it doesn't yet, but that's because counter boxes doesn't really, what are you going to use for counter boxes? No one can tell you. You've got to put those numbers in there yourself. Okay, and you could get rid of that or disable it. Like if there's a section you don't want to be on the site, disable it and everything else will just fold up naturally. So it's perfect. You're not going to have any issues there. I'll leave it on for now though. Portfolio settings, our work, latest created portfolio. So if you autofill just inside one of those, it'll only change that stuff in that one section, okay? And then that way, you have no problems ever just updating perfectly all the stuff you want, okay? Now, having said that, yeah, exactly. I'm going to save it. I think I went through all of it, right? So I'll go through the page stuff later, okay? So everything else is easy. Dealing with the individual pages is very, very simple, right? So where do you go to get a website that can do that? That's website-installer.com. All of the websites you can find in any of the categories. Or if you go to the new releases, all of them do the same thing. So it doesn't matter which one you want. If this is the one you want, okay, and you get it, again, you can outfit the entire front end page, okay? This is the page section. It's done in a separate motion, but that's simple, don't worry. But all these boxes, everything here changes depending on what you want. And then we'll do the images for you. So if you need us to change stuff for you to make it match your thing, no problem, okay? Piece of cake. And so we have really focused on maximizing customer service for 2023 so that you guys never get stuck with your websites. Biggest thing we always see happens, and you know it as well as I do, you go buy a website, then you mean to start the project, but it looks like a lot of work, and so you put it on a shelf. We're in an era now where that no longer needs to be the case. You can get a website, and the work can be easy enough that between you and us, it'll be simple to do, okay? So I'm just showing you. Everything's been streamlined here in a way I cannot believe. So our websites auto-write their own content, just like you saw. They auto-monitor how people act on the pages, and they auto-adjust to try to hit goals you get to set for the pages if you want. It's optional, but by going in and setting goals, your website measures whether your goals are being met. And if not, your website makes logical decisions to try to improve your ROI for you totally automatically on a page by page by page by page basis. So if you create 100 web pages on your website, they will each independently work on adjustments to maximize the sales that come off that page. Okay, so if you're trying to get newsletter signups on this page and newsletter signups on that, the newsletter sign-up box could be in two different places after the website does some measurements, because it finds that that's where it should put it here, but that's where it should put it there. Your websites do all that work for you, so you don't have to monitor, you don't have to pay for monitoring, and you don't have to pay website guys to fix things. And if you have any issues, you got like a code snippet and you don't know how to put it in your website, use the customer support link on the inside of your admin panel so that you can just hit this and you can upload your code snippet and ask us to put it in there on whichever page or globally, and we'll just do it for you. Update your ticket. Okay, I hope you found this really exciting. It's unbelievable. And so if you go for it now, I'll just tell you what, for those of you who are getting a template before the end of the year, or for as long as I leave that code snippet up, because I know now everyone's catching on to it. It won't be long though. There's a promo code box, BFCM, think Black Friday Cyber Monday, okay? I'm just resurrecting that code right now. And if you do that, that knocks about 20% off the monthly, if you're on a monthly, or on the annual, it knocks about $200 off the annual, from $950 down to $750. In other words, if you go with an annual, you get 2 months free anyway. Doing it this way, you're getting $200 free off the annual, which is already $190 off what it would be if you went monthly. What's the difference between monthly and annual? Everything's identical except for one really important component. The engine that does the writing, if you're on the monthly, then it's the older fashioned engine, so the writing's not this good. But if you go ahead and get on the annual subscription, then the writing will be this good all the time. Okay? So it's really worth it to get on the annual. All right. Having said all that, it's amazing. So if you can do it very soon for that benefit, otherwise it's still worth it. $950 a year. It's unbelievable how much value you get out of this thing. Okay, that's it though. We're making the work so easy that you can't mess it up, and we're making the tracking so cool for user action, scrolls, exit, statistics, self-optimization, progress, that the website does it all for you. It's worth tons, and it's included, as well as all the updates we do automatically. If we add a new integration for you, like this one we just added, that means it got added to all the new websites that are in Website Installer, every single one of these. Okay, and you can do any one of these and change the entire industry by what I just showed you with that autofill. And then ask us to change the images to match your new industry and your new location. If it's real estate in Miami Beach, okay, we'll use images with palm trees. Okay, we'll just pay attention to what you need and do it. And if you got any problems, let us know. We'll fix it. Piece of cake. Aside from that, everything we ever go to put into the websites, new functions and features, get added into everyone's. Even the guys who bought already. As long as you're on a subscription, monthly or annual, you'll get all the updates anyway. So again, the big advantage you get from buying annually is the better engine. And since content is king on Google, the better engine will rank higher and therefore get you more traffic and therefore get you more sales. So it was worth it. Totally worth it. And it's still cheaper to buy annually than buy monthly. It's a huge benefit. Okay, I've said my piece. The biggest thing I wanted to show you was this power. I mean, going in here and editing this down is the easy part, right? It was having to create this kind of content in the first place that was paralyzing, okay? No more paralysis. Get your website up, get it going, start filling in the pages. Creating the individual pages is about as easy as what I did on the front end. So for the last time, Happy New Year 2023 kicking in, and I want to say this, the era has changed. Those of you who are getting going now, you're going to have the best domain age for the best contents, the best control over your websites that self-manipulate so you don't need to keep making changes to them. Google will see changes happen to them automatically that make logical sense. So your websites will stay fresh every month, and they'll improve your ROI even on their own. Although it's a piece of cake to keep adding new content anytime you want. And we've got so many tricks to break down how you create the perfect pages that will rank hard with very little effort just like what I showed you. Okay, so there you go. Come on aboard. And yeah, Happy New Year 2023. This is going to be an amazing year.